Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for Tower of God Chapter 594, Season 3, Episode 177. Excited as always to start reading this time. We left off last time right in the middle of the Bomb and Elbaba stuff, so we got cliffhung a bit there. The best part last week to me was totally Kirin and Lobadan, but I've been enjoying the stuff with them as characters, and there's just so many different things that are like kind of going on, kind of possibilities for us to see this week that it's very, very exciting. Even up through 600, people have really hyped up saying that things are good, so I'm excited to see more things in the future. A reminder, I guess, that at 600 we are doing the character sort of screen time ranking thing again. I did it at 500 and I said I would do it every 100 chapters. So at 600, I'm going to do that again. I'm super excited to do that. It's been really tough being like, oh, I can't wait for 600. Like, just having to wait has been tough. But either way, between last chapter and this chapter, I have been, working on long-term projects, looking over more Tower of God stuff. Like I said, I think last week I've been kind of marathoning while I've been working on stuff, catching up to Amy Angel featuring Dr. Bonehead's reactions. And so that's had me looking at stuff that's a little bit in the past. And all of that, it's like, I've been thinking there are a lot of things that really are like important but haven't been talked about a lot recently, like Wang Nan and the mysterious weapon he got's important, or stuff like Emily has been, like it was said, oh, Emily's like a huge important thing, and we haven't really seen Wang Nan or any of that kind of stuff for going on 200 chapters now, which is what, like half a decade? Insanity. But what I was really thinking about is something that's never been really properly explained. Devils. What are devils? I usually like to talk about this kind of stuff like in the reaction videos and stuff, but I wonder if more people would listen to me if I made them into their own video. But so when it comes to devils, we know that there was one that was split in half and put into Horyang and Kasano. We also know that probably multiple of them were put into beta, and they were all like tests. They were all the build-up for FUG trying to figure out how to put a devil into somebody, which is what they did with Bomb. They were holding one on the second floor, and they put a devil into Bomb because in order to ignite an ignition weapon, you need a spirit within it to ignite, which is why FUG wanted to sort of melt Bomb into the thorn, but Bomb took the thorn, and in order to do that, Bomb needed the devil to ignite the thorn. So he has a devil in him, and the devil, much like Black March in Season 3, is something that's been hanging out inside of Bomb that we haven't really seen. I assume when Bomb got protected by the lobster thing, when Wang Nan tried to throw bombs at him at the beginning of Season 2, I'm assuming since it happened between Season 1 and Season 2, that was probably the devil that ignites the thorn within Bomb. But again, aside from that, we really haven't particularly seen it depicted within him, unless it's the blue Thrissa, but I kind of feel like those are two separate things. And even then, it's like, what is a Thrissa? The way that the red Thrissa was left behind after Enryu killed the Guardian made me think maybe Guardians can't really be killed, and it, much like Kukuda, much like a phoenix, just revives itself when quote-unquote killed, and that's what the red Thrissa is. Maybe it's like this baby reborn form of, or maybe a child or something left over by a Guardian when it's killed. But then it's like, then where'd the blue Thrissa come from? And what is a Thrissa to begin with? And the blue Thrissa is called a Thrissa, so they are the same thing, and it's hard to believe it's just a coincidence that the Guardian or Administrator was killed, and the red Thrissa just happened to be there for Heljo to stumble across. So it's very weird. It just makes me wonder, what are devils? On top of that, White made a deal or learned a spell or whatever from an ancient devil, which is how he got his abilities that break the rules of the tower. So that's questionable. Then you have the 7 holy swords, which the spirit of some sort of creature was split into 7 parts and put into the 7 holy swords or 7 sacred swords, whatever. So it's like, what is that? Was that a devil? Was that just some big Shinhale, some ancient creature like the Akranak is, or whatever Hive Riders are supposed to be? I still don't really 100% understand Hive Riders or the research into them quite yet. So it's like, what's going on with all of that? And that leads me into, like, everybody always, like, when I bring up stuff that I've done in the past, people say they like the stuff I did talking about like the 13 months and stuff like that. One of my theories since the Floor of Death about the 13 months is in the Floor of Death, Garam said that there was some sort of incident where the entire first generation of princesses were killed. We learned about the ghost of the 13 months and stuff. Zahard obviously orchestrated this stuff so that he wouldn't have to marry somebody. But also Gastang probably knew about it, so it probably ties in with Gastang thought of the whole princess system, and then his thought of the princess system gets his daughter En eventually sealed, and she goes mad and all of this stuff happens. So that has to weigh heavy on Gaston, you would think. I always thought that some of his issues with what happened to En probably come from guilt, since he's the one who made the princess system. But getting into what I've thought since Floor of Death, if a certain incident killed off the first generation of princesses, my thoughts are that Ashul Adwaru made the weapons, made the 13 months, but you need a spirit in order to ignite it. So the first generation of princesses were the spirits that were placed into the 13 months. Like the Black March spirit we've seen, the Green April spirit we've seen, are some of the first generation of princesses who were put into the 13 months. But again, that still doesn't explain what a devil is. So yeah, that long tangent aside, that's just some stuff I've been thinking about over the course of the week that's Tower of God related, that, you know, I always like to throw in anything that's Tower of God related that I've been thinking about. But either way, normal long intro aside, let's read this week. We have a violence warning, which, as I've said before, is basically just pointless, because we never know really what counts or what doesn't. Sometimes stuff is pretty gruesome, even if we don't have one, and sometimes we have one. It's like, did anything that bad happen? But we're starting off with the wincing in pain, Elbaba. Okay, yeah. He's flipped back over now, and pretty hurt after taking the floral butterfly piercing technique. I was once a trusted branch head of my family. Why have I been humiliated like this? Where did it all go wrong? Elaine, if only she hadn't fallen into that blasted trap. Really, oh man, if we get into more of like what happened with the trap and Elaine's backstory, that's crazy cool. But also something that I've brought up a lot when talking to people like on Discord and stuff is that I really think the regulars should have continued to play some more of a role. Like, it's possible that they can. Rack and Kun still do in some ways, and I think they should have, but I think specifically Elaine and Hockney. After the nest, I don't think that Elaine and Hockney should have been sent off to the snow forest with Shibisu and the rest of them. I feel like they should have been with Kun and Rack or with Bomb somehow. I really feel like we should have kept Elaine and Hockney in the main story that's been going on. But either way, we wouldn't have had to suffer like this. But wait, and he pictures her smiling. I can't seem to remember what she looks like. Oh yeah, for him it's been over 1,000 years. And he's just laying there, not even getting back up. Bomb turns around. What's he doing? Okay, heading for the Arena 1. Okay, so we're going to have an arc of everybody going to the arena. Lord Kirin, the executives haven't returned to the ship yet. Shall we stop the warp? He's going to be like, no, we're leaving. We don't have time to wait for them. Proceed with the warp. Yeah, he's just ditching them if he has to. Yes, sir. Kirin, where do you think you're going? Lobadan's crying out. And then that's Gran Abuelo behind him. But it warps away. Shoot, he warped. How could a floating carrier that big disappear so quickly? And it's interesting, too, that he's got the ship Wanryu going on. But I've said before that, again, my thoughts behind that are that he and Bellerir have been playing both sides of this as part of Revolution because they want to take over their respective families. It looked just like that warp fleet that Popedau's forces used. Okay. Kirin, have you really sided with Popedau's army? And we have Purpur's urchins. At least that's what they look like. I mean, not really, because they have huge monstrous mouths, but also kind of. Sir, the warp has begun. What do you mean they're leaving without me? I can't believe this. I hope the Serpent Master is going after Purpur. That jerk Kirin, he's the one who asked us to join him, and now he turns his back on us. And Serpent Master grabs onto her. The snake's got me. Hey, let go of me. Ja, oh my god, Ja and the Serpent Master. Who would have thought they'd be such a successful tag team? He just punches her straight in the gut. And Serpent Master's grabbing onto the urchins as well. That massive floating carrier vanished in the blink of an eye. Did I lose it? What's your problem? Why is it so hard for you to thank me? Why should we thank you? Our grandfather and the Slayer candidate did most of the work anyway. We are the princesses. Hey, do you have any idea how hard it was for me to bring those two here? Yeah, and Drossie's been working overtime as Bong Bong driver. Yeah, thanks for being such a good delivery woman. Would you like a tip for your efforts? You're so annoying. You ungrateful little... When are you going to stop being so stuck up? You've already been abandoned by Lopobia. Do you really think you can survive in the tower by yourselves? You won't stand a chance without your family's protection. And shouldn't they have the Zahard family's protection still? You would think? And then Laura, Lilial, Shilial. And she hugs them. I'm so glad. Oh, this is really cute, actually. You're both okay. What a relief. Mother? It's like I'm not even here. How rude. Andrasi. I wonder, I still say Andrasi even after all these years. I wonder if I should just go for the canon and Dorothy at this point. Hey, Bomb. Honestly, I kind of want to, just for, like, the laughs. Hey, Bomb, I thought you said they'd be in my debt for this. Do they look grateful to you? He bows to her. Thank you. And Dorothy. It's all thanks to you that we were able to save them. I'll always be indebted to you. I mean, I've already spread around the wrong pronunciation of Shinhil and the wrong pronunciation of Viole this whole time. I always said Viole because that's what it looked like to me, and I started reading this like way back in high school. Even though it should be Violet, like the French pronunciation of violet, because he is named after the color. And I think I just called them Shinwei because I don't know if it was a mistranslation or a misspelling or I misread it, but I could have sworn I read it where the U was before the E, so it looked like it should have been Shinwei or something. But then if you put it into like the text-to-speech or something, it says Shinhale. So I guess it should be Shinhale, even though even with the spelling we get, I'm like, that spelling doesn't really make a lot of sense for it to be pronounced that way to me. So I've already been pronouncing many things wrong for many years at this stage. Thank you. Whatever, she smiles. This is enough for me. And we have had some real, like, up-close thigh shots of Tiara, like a lot of them, and we get the actual full upskirt now, and she's wearing shorts, which to me, I don't know how I feel, because the shorts almost feel out of character for Tiara, but maybe not. It's like a Mikasa Mikoto, Misaka Mikoto, right? I used to always get Mikasa from Attack on Titan. I used to always mess up and call her Misaka because of Misaka Mikoto. But then, I guess maybe I've just gotten so used to Attack on Titan that now I'm accidentally saying Mikasa. But is it that sort of situation? Either way, though, it feels almost a little out of character for her. Like, not really her style. We can finally talk. Irregular. But first, did you receive the pen? Oh, yes, I got it from Yuri. Did she tell you not to give it back to me? Okay, and of course Yuri already left because she can't get into any more trouble. Then you should have said you don't have it. I know, but it doesn't belong to me. That's all right. You don't have to give it back right now, but on one condition. I need you and your friends to do me a favor in the arena. Inside the submarine, Gororo. Damn it, that bloody Kirin Gororo's just been hiding. Bringing a former branch leader back, what the heck is he thinking? I was a fool not to see this coming when I invited him to the group chat. Our plan was to take the irregular with us, and I love that he says the group chat, to take the irregular with us, and cause a conflict between the Lopobia and Popodao family heads. Then he was supposed to join us, but it looks like Kirim was up to something else altogether. On top of that, they kicked me out of the chat room, and they aren't even answering my messages, so he basically got kicked out of Revolution. He was basically in the Revolution chat. Which is interesting when you think about it, because if we're assuming, like from the panel we saw, that Revolution is like Kirin, Belarir, Rachel, Akryung, we also saw Belarir texting Michelle. We also saw Belarir texting him. So is Michelle also a part of Revolution? And Michelle is the one who we saw was using the Pobedao Shipwanryu. Damn it, how could they do this to me? I'm with the Irregular. You're going to regret this. Would you like to be on our team again? They messaged me. Alright. Huh? If you bring the Irregular to the place I tell you about before the showdown begins, I'll let you back into the group chat. They want me to bring the Irregular to a certain place in the arena. I wonder if this certain place is where Hwaryan and Rachel are going. It looks like everything's settled here. Again, assuming Rachel is a member of the group chat. Honestly, because Revolution is used for like what happened with Bomb gaining his abilities, what happens on Hell Train, also Spearbearer Revolution, I'm up for just calling the group chat at this point instead of Revolution. And then we have Kunam Rak. It looks like everything's settled here. Now all we have to do is head over to the arena. But I wonder, why there of all places? Yeah, because Kun was suspicious of the Sprout. The Sprout's an old place of pilgrimage for navigators. It's just a big old plant. And people have brought up that navigator and guide use different words, or like two different things. So I looked into like what they're actually saying here, because occasionally I'll do that. I'll look at like the Korean version of a chapter just to see what the names look like, to make sure I'm not pronouncing anything wrong anymore. And the word they use for guide is like an actual Korean word for guide, but the word used here when they're talking about the Sprout, they say like navigato. So it's like, I guess navigato is what they're calling these. So there's like guides that uses an actual Korean word, and then this, which is using like a loan word for navigators. It's just a big old plant that already lost its significance long ago. And now we're getting like a full... Sorry, I just wanted to go up and down this a bit, like a full shot of what it looks like. Alright. Odds that Bomb, like Lobanon, controls Gran Abuelo, takes over the Sprout, and gets it as an ability, and Bomb becomes an anima who can control plants with the Sprout as the thing that he controls. Odds on that. Just whenever there's a new ability or something, like when it's like Yuri's going to pass the pen to Bomb, odds that Bomb gets pen powers. What's the Pobedao family head thinking? Why would he designate there, of all places, as the arena, and summon Bomb and the Lopobia family head there? And we're seeing all the ships lined up. And the actual, like, main... They used to call it, like, floating castle, but now I think they just use battleship all the time. But the main floating castle, if we want to use the old translation, of the Pobedao. There's so many ships as well. Vice Commander, all the ships are in position. The head librarian's warping here with the enemy branch heads. They should be arriving soon. Alright, it's finally time for me to leave this stifling library. Okay, is this Belarir? They called him Vice Commander, which is what they've been saying for him. Okay. He throws the book down. Issue an order to all Pobedao troops here. Tell them to give the branch heads a good thrashing before I leave. But I don't want them to kill the branch heads. I still need them to do something for me. I was told that you're very eager to wipe out this family, so I'll help you make your wish come true. Oh? So we have Gaston going to Belarir. But if you're going to dream, you should dream big. If you want to get rid of one family, why don't you get rid of all 10? It won't be much longer. So this explains how he's in with Revolution and everything a bit. Won't be much longer now. And again, since he's coming to him in an alley, and he's saying this family, Does that mean that Gustang adopted him, or is he really Gustang's son? Won't be much longer now, in a few days, but the Lopobia family and the Pobedao family will be no more. They fell right into my trap. You won't regret this, Father. And it did seem, again, like once we got the reveal of Gustang talking to Proust, it seemed like Bellerir actually was working with Gustang. So it's like Bellerir is both a traitor because he wants to take out the established order of the Pobedao, but also not a traitor because Gustang just wants everything to burn. So he's still kind of working in Gustang's interest. Oh, I thought we were gonna get cliffhung. I thought that was gonna be the end of the chapter. We have this maelstrom of Shinsu destroying things. A big oh, is that the Golden Carp's ship, maybe? That, looks like a giant fish. And the ship Wanryu's there, too. Okay, we see, Rashut. We didn't get to see enough Rashut. She looks cool. And her, like, people, like the Chimeras, they look cool. I want to see more of them. Where am I? And that's, gosh, what? She was just Jew, right? Lopobia Jew was the, Golden Carp branch head. What the? Sorry, her little the water gun was cracking me up a little. Okay. Damn it. Watch out. And is the ship Wanryu gonna do that burst that it did before? This is insane looking, whatever's happening. Everything is getting demolished. People are just getting slaughtered all over the place. You people are really asking for it now. Okay, Rashut's doing something. She creates blood wings. And then, wait. Isn't that? Oh, this is the Pobedao family's battleship. Or, at this point, because all the little things are battleships, for like the main ones, I'm going to go back to the old translation. I'm going to start calling them floating castles again. No, it can't be. Man, her powers are really cool looking. We really needed to see more of her. Does that mean the Pobedao family head is here? And we're seeing the turtle again. We still don't even know the turtle's name. Huh. Bellerir left, but he doesn't have the thing on his forehead here. He had it earlier. There you are. My poor little pawns. Commander, I reached out to the other branch leaders like you told me to. And, well, none of them answered me. Either they're busy or they're somewhere without access to communications. I tried contacting the battleship and they say they received a few SOS signals. I'll send you the location. Alright, I'll head back soon. This isn't good, I'd better hurry. And he goes up to Bomb and Tiara. Lord Robodon. Slayer candidate, I know this is sudden, but I'm going to have to leave, right now. Pardon? I think Kidian laid a trap for us. The branch leaders are in danger, I have to go help them. So that's Lobodon. Thanks, Tiara. I see. Then what about the arena? I'll head over to the arena as soon as I can, or as soon as I rescue the branch leaders. I'm sorry, I wish I could help you get there. I'll handle things here. What? I'll help the Slayer candidate, for now. There are 2 doors to get into the Sprout. The designated location for the showdown. Okay, the Sprout, the designated location for the showdown. I thought she was going to list 2 separate things there. We'll each take a different route and get to the arena and meet up there. Who are you? Nice to meet you. My name is Pobedao Tiara. Tiara, the Pobedao family's princess, the one with a reputation for unpredictability. Let me ask you something. Who is your opponent in this war? My opponent? Anyone who opposes my father and our family. The people trying to lead our family to destruction in this war. I have no personal grudge against the Pobedao family, but if you try to bring down our family, I'll fight back as hard as I can. Any opponent of my family, my family and my father is an opponent of mine. In that case, we share the same opponent. We may be technically enemies, but no matter. We can team up for the time being. So I actually like this. We're kind of seeing a split with both families in Tiara and the people that want to keep the Pobedao together, and Lobodon and the people that want to keep the Lopobia together, versus, you know, really, I would say those two have Traumare on their side. Traumare just wants things to stay the same. But then you have the people trying to tear each family apart, led by Belarir and Kirin. But it honestly kind of seems like Gastong's more on their side. Team up? What do you mean? I just explained it, and I don't feel like repeating myself. Basically, we have the same target. My goal is to eliminate any third parties interfering with this war and the Popedao family. Alright. Warp area between floors. Okay, so we're between floors. We could be seeing something totally different this time. All hell is broken loose on the battleship because of the war, but everything's so quiet here. At times like this, it's better to not be a rancor. Nobody pays attention to ordinary workers like us. Okay, we have workers. Who is this going to be? Who are we going to actually get to see here? What is that? A floating ship? I'm so excited. This could be like anybody at this point. Alright, I don't see any symbols yet because he says there's a symbol on it. Look, there's a symbol on the ship. It's Walhike song. We're getting... Okay, it'd be really cool if it was like new... Well, it's going to still be cool if it's Yurik. We haven't seen him in a while, but we've seen a lot of Yurik. I think I'd be really hype if it's some like new Walhike song people, or some like other people that we haven't seen as much. Okay, so we now have two of the great families, FUG and Walhike song, involved, which makes sense because they're like kind of the three major factions, and the workshop has always been like a questionable third faction. Is it like, because the workshop kind of works with FUG, they also work for sure explicitly with the Zahard Empire, so it's like, where does the workshop count in all of this? But yeah, very, very, very good chapter. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I talked about it mostly as I went through it. I feel like I had just sort of a lot of tangents and discussion this time around, so I don't think there's much left for me to say here at the end. But again, like usual, we could have another long intro next week if there's anything new I need to say. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more. Tower of God, much more on the channel. Like I said, much more is coming. I still have big projects like the 600 chapter top 100 characters by screen time that's going to be happening as soon as chapter 600 comes out. In addition to that, you just have, you know, much more of everything. I've been working on a lot of, again, long-term projects, is why I couldn't post many things this week other than Tower of God, but all of those things should be coming out in the next week or two, so keep an eye out for them if you're interested. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it is free and open for anyone. We can talk there. I love talking to you all about Tower of God or anything else. If you would like to help support the channel, you can drop a super thanks down below. It'd be very appreciated. Or you could go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron, or hit join down below to become a member. Patrons and members get a shout out at the end of every video and get One Piece videos a bit early. So huge thank you to people who are patrons and members. Huge thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, Effernono and Smeller Dog, Cheerton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stance Eater, and Pure Element Pate Ardialo. Those with the black crown have been here for a year already as patrons and members. One of you is almost at 2 years, so next month they'll be getting a bronze crown. Evan Holly with the gold crown has been a Chosen regular for over 4 years now. So huge, massive thank you to all of them. Huge, massive thank you to all of you for all of your support and for watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.